All right, everyone, buckle up. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of Chinese electric vehicles.
EVs.
EVs, exactly. But here's the thing. It's not just about sleek new cars hitting the road.
Hmm.
This is about a potential seismic shift in the entire global auto industry.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is that China's success with EVs, while it's not some overnight fluke,
Right.
it's the result of, as Professor Miliavaka puts it, a very deliberate long
The
game.
long game, huh? So they've been planning this for a while.
Oh yeah, decades even.
Wow.
And that's what we're going to unpack today.
And speaking of unpacking, Professor Midliavaka's work, along with some really insightful posts from the blog Calpurnia's Thoughts, they're going to be our guides on this journey.
Excellent sources.
Yeah, and one thing that both of them really emphasize is this, like almost a flood of Chinese EVs hitting the global market.
Yeah, and Professor Miliavaka, she actually uses that term flood.
She does.
It's pretty striking.
It is, because just a few years ago, they were barely on the map, and now, boom, they're exporting more cars than, get this, Germany and Japan.
It's remarkable.
So is it just a matter of them being cheaper,
Well,
or is there more to the story?
price is definitely a factor, no doubt about it. But it's not the only thing. What's really fascinating is that China, they recognized the potential of EVs way back in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow, so they were ahead of the curve.
Way ahead. Like, while most of the world was still obsessed with gas guzzlers, China was already investing heavily in research, offering subsidies for EV buyers.
So they were setting the stage
Yeah.
while everyone else was, like, stuck in the past.
Pretty much. And they were also building out charging infrastructure.
Smart.
They were thinking long term. And the results, well, they speak for themselves.
You're calling me.
By 2021, they had over 300
Wait, 300?
300 different EV models on the market.
That's insane.
It is, especially when you compare it to what was available in, say, Europe or the US at the time.
Yeah, it's like they were playing a whole different game.
It's like they saw the future and everyone else was still looking at the past.
I mean, that's impressive, but is there a catch? I mean, sometimes when things move this fast,
Yeah.
you have to wonder about the quality.
Yeah. Right. Did they sacrifice quality for quantity?
Exactly.
It's a fair question, but from what both our sources suggest, it seems like they managed to do both.
Really?
Yeah, Chinese EV makers, they're not just competing on price. They're becoming known for innovation, especially in battery technology.
So they're not just churning out cheap knockoffs?
No, not at all. They're pushing the boundaries.
Huh. So do we have any examples of, like, how they're innovating?
Oh, yeah. Professor Miliavaka, she shares this great anecdote from a recent European auto show.
Oh, tell me more.
She describes how Chinese brands were there, showcasing all these market-ready EVs, like with all the bells and whistles, cutting-edge features.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, some of the big European brands, they were still presenting concept cars.
Oh.
So they weren't even close to being ready to actually sell anything.
So the Chinese companies are not just catching up.
No.
They're overtaking.
That's right.
Man, that's got to have the big players like Volkswagen, BMW, all those guys
Yeah.
sweating a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. They're feeling the heat. They're now under immense pressure to lower their prices and, speed up their own EV development.
So it sounds like this flood of Chinese EVs, it's more like a tidal wave that's about to crash over the entire industry.
It is, and it's forcing everyone to either adapt or, get swept away. And as we dive deeper in the next part, we'll see how this wave is already making ripples far beyond the automotive world, impacting global trade, geopolitics, even our everyday lives.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
It's going to get interesting.
I can't wait.
Yeah, stay tuned. Picking up on that tidal wave thing, it's really interesting how Europe is reacting to all this.
Yeah, what's their take?
Well, they're really committed to going green with their Green Deal, but they also want to protect their own car industry, right?
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, Calpurnia's Thoughts actually calls it a real bind.
I bet. So what are they doing about it?
Well, one idea that's being tossed around is tariffs.
Tariffs, so like a tax on imported Chinese EVs.
Exactly, and that's something Professor Miliavaka really digs into in her analysis.
But haven't we seen this before?
Yeah.
Didn't the EU try something similar with Chinese solar panels a while back?
They did back in like 2013, I think it was.
Yeah, and how'd that work out?
Not so well, actually. China just kind of found ways to work around those restrictions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in the end, it ended up hurting European consumers more than anyone else.
So not a great precedent.
Not really.
So what's the alternative? Just let Chinese EVs flood the market and watch European car companies go under.
Well, both our sources seem to suggest that maybe the answer isn't fighting the wave, but learning to, ride it.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, so instead of trying to block Chinese EVs, maybe the focus should be on adapting and competing.
Okay, so how do they do that? I mean, these Chinese companies seem to have such a huge head start.
True, but Calpurnia's thoughts argues that there's still a window of opportunity.
Okay.
European car makers, they have this long history of quality and innovation, right?
Right.
So they need to leverage those strengths while also embracing the new technologies driving the EV revolution.
But is it too late? I mean, these Chinese brands are already offering all these cutting-edge features at a fraction of the cost.
It's definitely a challenge, no doubt, but Professor Miliavacca, she points to the importance of government support.
Like subsidies and things like that.
Exactly. If the EU can provide the right incentives, maybe relax some regulations,
Yeah, create a more friendly environment for EV production.
right, then it could really help European companies catch up.
So it sounds like it's not just a battle between companies, but also a battle between governments.
Absolutely.
Whoever can create the most supportive ecosystem for their EV industry is going to come out on top.
That's a great way to put it. And that's what makes this whole story so fascinating. It's not just about cars, it's about global competition, political strategy.
Yeah, it's like a high-stakes game of chess.
It is, and there's another player in this game that we haven't talked about yet, consumers.
Consumers, you mean everyday people like you and me.
Exactly.
So you're saying that we actually have a role to play in all of this.
Oh, absolutely. In a way, the fate of the entire auto industry rests in the hands of consumers.
Wow, I never thought of it like that.
Well, it's true, because at the end of the day, it's consumers who decide which cars they buy, right?
Right.
And as they become more aware of, the affordability, the quality of Chinese EVs, well, their preferences could really shift the entire market.
Regardless of what governments or traditional automakers do.
Exactly.
That's kind of mind-blowing. You're telling me that all the tariffs and trade wars in the world might not matter if consumers decide they want something different.
That's the power of the free market, right?
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
And right now, the demand for affordable, innovative EVs, well, it's skyrocketing. And Chinese companies are meeting that demand.
They are. So that raises a really interesting question. What about European consumers? What are they looking for in an EV? Is it all about price? Or are there other factors at play?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that I think deserves its own deep dive.
Oh,
So I guess that's where we'll pick things up in the next part.
sounds good to me.
Welcome back to the deep dive. As we dig deeper into this whole Chinese EV thing, it's striking me that this goes way beyond just cars, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a chain reaction. One change leads to another, and pretty soon you've got this whole ripple effect across the entire global landscape.
So let's trace those ripples, shall we?
Sure.
First up, climate change.
Right.
Both Professor Miliavacca and Calpurnia's thoughts really highlight the potential for EVs to, help us reduce those pesky emissions.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really that simple? Like we just swap out all the gas guzzlers for EVs and boom, problem solved.
Well, if only it were that easy. It's a bit more nuanced than that.
Okay, how so?
Well, see, EVs themselves, they don't produce tailpipe emissions, right?
Right.
But the electricity used to charge them, well, that often does.
Ah, I see. So if that power is coming from like a coal-fired plant,
Exactly.
then the environmental benefit isn't as big.
That's right. So it's not just about the cars themselves, it's about the entire energy ecosystem.
We need to think about where that electricity comes from and how sustainably those batteries are produced, the whole 9 yards.
You got it. And Professor Migliavacca, she actually makes a really interesting point about this.
Oh, what's that?
She argues that China's dominance in EV production, it could actually accelerate the shift to renewable energy sources.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. As the demand for EVs increases, so does the need for clean energy to power them.
So it's like this self-reinforcing cycle.
Exactly. One change driving another.
But hold on a second. China's controlling the EV market, and they're also driving this shift towards renewable energy. Doesn't that give them a ton of power?
That's a key question, and it's where geopolitics enters the picture.
Oh,
Yeah, both of our sources actually touch on this.
so what are they saying?
Well, as China becomes a leader in this crucial technology, well, they gain leverage on the global stage, right?
Makes sense.
It's almost like EVs are becoming this new currency of power,
Okay, yeah, I see that. So what does that mean for Europe and the US? Are they just going to sit back and watch China take over?
I doubt it. In fact, Calpurnia's thoughts, they describe China's EV surge as a wake-up call.
A wake-up call.
Yeah, like it's forcing other countries to rethink their strategies, to invest more in their own EV industries.
Yes, to develop policies that can actually compete.
Exactly. So it's like we're witnessing this like global race for EV dominance,
Right.
everyone's trying to get ahead.
So where does, like, the average person fit into all of this?
Yeah.
What should our listener be paying attention to?
Well, for me, the key thing is awareness. As consumers become more educated about EVs, their preferences, they're going to shape the direction of the market, right?
So, like, what do they prioritize? Price, features, brand loyalty,
Love that.
even the
The ethical considerations.
right, the environmental impact, the geopolitics.
Yeah, all of those factors.
That's pretty powerful. You're saying that even though this seems like this huge, complex issue, the choices we make as consumers actually matter.
Oh, they absolutely do. And Calpurnia's thoughts, they have this great line.
What's that?
They say, the future of transportation is not being decided in boardrooms or government meetings. It's being decided in the hearts and minds of consumers.
Wow, that's a really good quote. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I'd say this. The EV revolution is not just a technological shift, it's a societal one. It's about understanding how everything's connected. Climate change, energy, economics, geopolitics, our own personal values.
Yeah.
The choices we make today, both as individuals and as a global community, they're going to shape the world of tomorrow.
That's beautifully put. And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has shed some light on this incredible transformation that's happening all around us. It's a fascinating time to be alive, and we're all part of this journey, whether we realize it or not. Thanks for tuning in.